Good morning, everyone. I should be in the Blends and Beyond Facebook group. I am just going to get myself set up. I thought I'd come in just a few minutes earlier and get myself organized. There we go. Now I see me. Now I get the comment. I'm getting better at this. I thought it is time to get back in here with this poorly neglected group that I got started, that we've got so many members with. And I thought I would start doing a little bit of coloring perhaps once a week. And so this time we're going to color in the terrific Toadstools stamp set. I colored this in last week just for a bit of fun, and it turned out quite well. So I thought, well, let me share it with you. So this is the stamp set that we are going to be playing with. I know I'm coming in a little bit earlier and jumping in. So let me just zoom in and get myself where I need to be, because where I need to be is often different. Actually, let me come back because we're not ready to color in just yet. So what I need to do first is get some stamped images. So I am going to stamp in basic beige, and I'm going to use I've got some shadowing going on, and I'm going to use a second generation, so which is just stamping off first and then using the second image. So let's get all of them started. So, and I'm just going to scrap them down at the bottom there. So this will just be my little stamp off area. I'm probably still picking up a little bit of pink. That pink ink is stubborn, man. I even washed them with a little bit of hand soap and they're still quite full on. Okay, so look at that. You can barely, this is what I wanted, but I'm still getting a little bit of a pink flavor, but that's okay. And I hope I've got enough room here. I definitely want to show you that one there. And I did hand cut all of these afterwards, so I'm not going to be too fussed. And of course, these ones are showing up really lightly because they've never been inked in that full-on pink. So there we go. I'll bring these up to the screen so that you can see them, because you cannot see them at the moment. So let me just bring them up. So I've got that heavily tinted pink one, and then we've got some beige ones, but that's okay. It's still giving me a nice light image that I can color in. So jump in, say hello if you are watching. I have got quite a lag on my screen, but we will catch up. All right, now let's zoom in. So, and of course, being native on going live native on Facebook is always interesting. I'm used to using a different streaming thing, but I can't because I can't zoom in. Okay, so let's tackle this one and we'll work our way this way. So I'm using Prismacolor pencils, and the colors that I'm going to be using for the head, and now I've got rolling motion. Goodness me. I'm going to be using a crimson red. I think I'm going to have to buy myself a new pencil there. A poppy red. I've got a goldenrod, and then a dahlia purple. So, and some of these colors I've just had out working on other projects, so I just grabbed them. So I'm going to start off with my crimson red, and when the first time that I colored these, I'll try and see if I can bring these in the screen as well. When I colored them, I went really softly, and so it did take me some time because I did go very soft. So I'm going to try and go a little bit firmer this time, but first of all, I'm just going to outline these pesky little dots that we've got going on here, because that you can easily lose them. I don't want to come in too far, so I'm going to switch to my Poppy Parade and go around those ones. I lost a few of them, I think. So anyway, so hopefully I can start a little bit heavier. I'm just going to outline these, and I apologize because sometimes the issue of coloring and talking at the same time is a little bit tricky. So but I am just going to outline these, and I'm going to come around the rim back here. Try and get a nice even line. Okay. So I don't mind if you guys don't chat, because I probably won't chat a lot either. So we'll get this little line a bit thicker as we come back up. So this is the crimson red that I'm using at the moment. And I was sort of feeling that it was a little bit on the strong side. We can make this a little bit thicker down here. Trying not to be wonky. Okay, so then I'm going to switch to my poppy red. I've got Stampin' Up colours on my brain. And let's just go over our red. So we're layering our colours here. Actually, I think I might get rid of that little circle there. I don't think it was actually supposed to be a circle. So I'm just going to come over and layer in a little bit more, and we'll continue on. So I am putting a lot of pressure. Like I said, the first time I went really lightly and I built my colours up, but I'm going to go quite heavy around these sections here, and then I will tone it down a little bit because I want to put another colour over the top. So just merging those and giving this a little bit, because the poppy red has got a little bit more of an orange flavour than the crimson red. So now I'm going to pull off my pressure, and you can see that now I'm just colouring that a little bit lighter. Okay, now I'm going to come in with my golden rod, and I'm going to layer over the top of the poppy. And this will give it that nice little orangey glow to it. Okay, now I can switch back and forth and build up the colour, the intensity that I want, because I've gone quite strong on this one here. So I can just go back and forth a little bit. Whoops, I nearly lost that little one. We want some of those white dots on there, but they're a bit tricky sometimes. Okay, add a little bit more of our golden rod. So we're just filling on all the tooth in the paper now. Okay, so then the next thing I did was I came in with this Dahlia purple, and I just added, and this color lays down quite strong, so I just added a tiny little bit as we go around the corners of our mushroom as it bends around. So I just want to add a little bit more depth around these areas here. Actually, it's not going down as heavy as what I originally went down, probably because I've gone heavier pressure first and I filled in some of that tooth. And then I'm going to come around because this back area will be a little bit darker as well. Okay, so that's fairly easy. Okay, now we'll do this one, and that's pretty much going to be the same. This one's got a bit of a thicker line at the back here, so you can see. So using the crimson at the moment. So I was thinking, oh, you know, I'd like to colour these, but, and then I was thinking the other day, because I was looking at one of my projects that I was doing, and always put down a base of marker first, and I thought, well, is there really any difference between putting down a base of marker or stamping a solid image and then colouring it? So that's why I thought I would give this one a bit of a colour. Okay, so I'm just taking this red, so you can see I've gone quite light compared to what I went, so now I'm going to have to build up this colour a little bit, put the pressure on. I want it a little bit more intense than this. Okay, switch over to my poppy and bring that up. Get these circles. Now there are tiny little circles here. I can't actually make them out very well, so either just make them up yourself or get rid of them and just have the bigger circles. I'm going to come down, bring this poppy over the top of the crimson just so that it has that little bit of an orange flavour in it, but it's still a bit stronger in colour. And I have just realised I have forgotten to put my phone into airplane mode, and I'm expecting a call from the computer guy, hopefully telling me that my computer is successfully migrated. My Mac died just before the end of last year, so I've been working without a computer this whole time. Interesting. But I'm going from an iMac back to a Windows, so I'm hoping that all my photos get to come along with it. Oh, did I have a circle there? I think I might have just gotten over the top of it. Anyway. So, okay, so now I'm going to do my goldenrod and just do a little bit of sunshine in the middle here. So with the Prismacolor pencils, I started out with a 72 pack, and I do have a link I can share with you for that. And then as I've needed other pencils, I have just bought them in singles, like just rather than to add to my collection that way. Because I'm sure that there's, even in that 72 pack, there's probably going to be colours that I never pick up. So let's go over this guys a little bit more. So you can see how the difference between the two with the purple that's been added to this one. It sort of gives it that nice little deeper edges as we come around the corners there. And my caps of my lines are probably all very wonky. My eyes are not good at the moment. Just gonna put a little bit of depth in there and sort of make it sort of feel like there's a little dip in the toadstool cap. Perhaps just go a little bit lighter in between these guys. Okay, now back with that purple, and we'll give this one the same treatment, just a little bit extra on these sides here, around the back. And if it starts, whoops, I just went out the line there, grab your rubber. So much, pencils are so much more forgiving than markers sometimes, because if you make a little error or you've gone too heavy, then you can just lift it up. Now, if you feel that it's looking too purple, then you can just come in with your red and pop a little bit over the top. Gosh, my eyes are bad. Okay, I think I am done with the caps. So the colors that I used for underneath, I have pulled out, and I just made this up as I went along. I pulled out beige because I thought that it was a similar-ish color to what we've got on our screen, like for our mushroom bases. I pulled out peach because I wanted a slightly pinker tone. And then right at the last moment, I popped in the clay rose. So we will play with these as well. So, whoops, I'm touching things on my screen that I shouldn't be touching. Whoops. Okay, so with these guys, I started off going with my beige color and just popping these down. And of course, this one's stamped slightly pink. So, but I've just followed these little lines that they've done here and just not taken them right into the middle, but just filled them. So hopefully these won't take too long. I just tend to get carried away with the bigger areas and my little circles get bigger and bigger. I think I'm better doing all the fine detail work with pencil, not colouring in big areas. Okay, so I'm going to swap to the peach now, and I'm just going to pop a little hint just in those little points that are there. And with some of these points, I actually fill them in and drag them a little bit further into the middle there. And one thing that I had done on my original little mushroom here is I tried to pull in some purple, but it was way too dark. It was so intense. You can see little bits of it here. They're sort of showing up as, they're almost reading like a blacky grey, which is not what I want to do now. So I'm going to bring in the clay rose and just very, very lightly, and I only want it in that little center area, and by the time I've stuck on the stalk, you probably won't see it too much anyway. Okay, so next one, back to the beige. Bring in that little one there. Not that you can see them, they're off there. Maybe if I turn their heads around, they'll be upside down, but okay, and then back with the peach, and again I just added a little bit to these centers, but I brought these lines down a little bit more as well. Just gives them a little, just a little bit more of a pinker tinge. Okay, and then the clay, very, very gently, just right in the middle. Again, that's probably going to get covered by the stalk, so I'll just focus on the little gills that are facing up. Okay, now we'll do the simple stalk first. We'll do this one here, and I pretty much just coloured in over the top of the beige So and you can see, I don't know whether you can actually see these two, because this one had, the image was stamped in that pinker tone, then this one's got a slightly pinker undertone as well, but it's okay because all mushrooms are different in real life, aren't they? Toadstools. And don't trust picking mushrooms out of your garden that you're not sure about. We did that. My poor husband, when we moved into, it was years ago. Now this is the peach, so I'm just going to come along the left hand side a little bit, just mainly at the top and down the bottom. I'll go a little bit heavier. When we first moved into our house, we had some what we thought were mushrooms. So my husband ate them, and don't think that they were actually your regular mushrooms. He suffered a bit from them. All right, so I've just got a little bit of that pink tinge, and then coming in with the clay, I'm just going to do a little bit down the bottom here, sort of like try and keep it like a little right angle-y type thing. And then I did these little bits after I had stuck them on, but I'm going to do them now. So I just popped a little bit up the top there as well, just like as if the cap was casting a little bit of a shadow down there. And once I've got these guys actually on, there's a stamp here that's like a mound, and I'm probably going to do it green, maybe with a little bit of brown in it. And then once I stick my mushrooms onto it, I'm probably going to do a little bit of green up the stalk as well, because, you know, colour bounces. Okay, let's get this one done now. So this one's rather tricky to see because it has all those little lines in it. So I'll try and get that one in the screen as well. So again, with the beige, just giving it a nice coat. Now I'm going to have a slightly different card in mind, because I was only going to use the 2, but now I've got 4 little toadstools to play with for a card. All right, I'm not going to touch those little gills, or whatever they're called, on the stalk at the moment. I'm going to leave them. I'll come back and do them in a moment. But, all right, so now we've got the peach, and I'm just going to do a little bit up that left-hand side again. Down the bottom. And, you know, just play with your colouring. I didn't actually have anything in mind. I just played as we went along and just went, let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to come back to my beige here, and there's a little bit of white here, so I'm going to pop, pretty much just going to colour in where the dark stamping lines are, and then these guys will get picked up when we move into the deeper colours. Okay, and a little bit of the peach. So I'm just putting a little bit more pressure on just to separate these guys a little bit. And I'm going to go around and underneath each one to sort of separate them again. Okay, and this is where the fun part comes in. So we're going to grab our clay and we're going to pop a little bit of shadowing underneath here, just a little bit, and bring it down the side. Okay, and then up here, we're going to pop a little bit along the side here, a little bit under that little rim, a little bit up here as if the cap was already on top of it, and we're going to cast a little bit of a shadow. Okay, bring that down a little bit more. Okay, and I'm going to do just a little right angle type thing down here again in the bottom corner. Again, I might come back with a little bit of green to pop into here, just depending on what colours I use for that green mound. Okay, so now let's come back to this thing here. I sort of flit around all the time, so I just want to put a little bit more in between each ones of these, just to segment them a little bit. Hopefully you can see. If you're I will end up putting this on YouTube when I get the computer back and I can actually do all the saving. And you can actually zoom in a little bit closer if it's not close enough for you. So now I'm just going on the left-hand side of each of those little things because it's just a little bit too white for me. But you can leave a little section of white and it will sort of, you won't have to add white in. I've not used any white pencils on this. And then on the other side of that, we just go, whoops. Now I dropped my pencil earlier when I was setting up and I broke the tip off it. So just go, try and go easy with your pencil, especially working on a glass mat. I was like, man, it's nothing worse than breaking your pencils. So these little fiddly detaily bits that I absolutely love and feel that I can just keep playing with them, but I won't go too crazy. But there you have it. And then what I did was just, I mean, I'd probably go back and play a little bit more with these. Just keep going until you feel that you're happy with them. I hand cut them. I didn't use the punch. We do have a punch that goes with them, but the punch is actually a little bit smaller and you're left with an outline left on your, oh, that's the bits that I cut. Yeah, so it will make them a little bit smaller. So I actually hand cut all of these and then just glued them together, and there we have it, our cute little mushrooms. I'll come and do some sort of a green mound. I'm not sure what I will do yet. I need to sort of think about that a little bit, but hopefully that gives you a bit of idea on how to get a little bit more of a realistic looking toadstool if that's what you're after, sort of a little bit more earthy, and it's fun and it's relaxing, and I enjoy colouring, so, and I'm sure you guys too. Okay, so thank you very much for watching and for catching the replay. I will put this on YouTube as well, so if you feel like you want to watch it over there as well, and that way you can zoom in if you're watching on a mobile device and you can get a little bit closer. So thanks very much for joining me, and hopefully we will see you again next week with something else. Okay, bye-bye.